Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpole and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 102 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim Easton Assassin Van Stratton. I'm joined this morning by Rodney Newpole, the regular co-host. We've done all the shows together, and we're back again on this Friday. Rodney, how are you?
Easton Assassin. What am I missing there? What is this from?
Well, first of all, it's my nickname, as I like to clarify at the beginning. But I believe that's the nickname of former boxer Larry Holmes.
Okay,
Larry Holmes for all you old boxing fans. I know you're a diehard boxing fan, so
yeah, that's just one I'm not super familiar with. But I'm doing well this morning. Thank you for asking, and happy Friday, happy episode 102, and week 7 of the National Football League already.
Week 7.
I know you were not able to see last night's game. We're going to get to that here in a bit, but should be some good football this weekend, and pretty good one last night on Thursday night.
You know what? I got to say, the primetime games have been hitting really good this year.
Better, yes.
Much better. I can't remember if it was last year or whatever, but it feels like there are years where every primetime game just falls flat.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, because it's a blowout or it's just a gross game. I think so far, though, if you look at every single Thursday, Sunday night, Monday night game over the course of the first 6+ weeks of the year, I would say the overwhelming majority of them have been games that were super exciting, that were close, that had major storylines, and that's all you can ask for as a football fan, and if you're the NFL. So clearly, they've struck a chord with the right matchups, and just things have worked out. I would say the only standalone games that have been kind of duds are these the games Sunday mornings in Europe, which those are kind of like those are gross, but it's understandable. Understandable. They've always been like that.
I was going through the Thursday night scores, and you're right on that. But the funny thing is, the worst result was last week when your New York Giants pounded on Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles.
But that was because it was such a surprise, and it was because it was like the Jackson Dart Camp Scadaboo game. Like, it generated so much buzz.
Yeah.
For other reasons. It was so even if it didn't have the score, it was still exciting. It still had those storylines, but there's been no outright snoozer where we're just I just want to forget all about that game.
And I'll push back a little bit on the London international games, because while they haven't been high-level games, I mean, it was 13-11 last week. Pretty competitive.
It was an awful game. It was an awful game.
21-17 Vikings over Browns in London. Competitive. It was 24-21 Steelers over Vikings the week before. Competitive. Yeah, you're right. Those games are not the quality is not there, but the competition, and that's really kind of just the NFL. The competition in the NFL is, we talk about this every show. You just never know. You just never, ever know what's actually going to happen. And the one game that stands out to me the most all year in the NFL is that game where Minnesota beat them. And I know it was no Joe Burrow, but they scored 48 points on Cincinnati and was like, what the hell happened here? Just kind of all over. 48-10 on Cincinnati in week 3.
Minnesota. That wasn't a primetime game, but
no. But no, I'm just more broad NFL talk of back to the we don't know shit point. It's just all over the place. It's hard to predict scores. It's hard to know what's going to happen, primetime or not. It's really difficult.
Yeah, the record of and this is a good one here. While you're already looking at it, the number of primetime favorites.
Yeah,
that have outright lost.
Yeah, lots.
Because I'd be willing to guess that of the last 10, or I'd say of the last 10, maybe 7 or 8 even of primetime favorites have outright lost.
Yeah, so I'll skip week 1, but so we'll just go.
Well, no, let's go backwards here. Okay, so
yesterday,
so Bengals, outright win. Monday night, the Falcons were an underdog.
Correct.
Bears were an underdog.
Correct.
So that's 3 right there. Chiefs were technically an underdog, or were they a favorite?
Chiefs were under.
I thought
Chiefs were favorite. They ended up being a 2.5.
Chiefs were favorite. Okay. So Chiefs were favorite. Okay, so that's 3 of the last 4. Giants underdog against the Eagles win.
Yep.
So
4 or 5.
Right, and that's just in the last week.
Yeah.
So, and then you can go back before that.
I'll continue. Jaguars over Chiefs.
5 of 6.
That was Monday night. Sunday night, Patriots over Bills.
6 of 7.
Thursday night, 49ers at the Rams. Rams were favorite.
7 of 8. 7 of 8.
I will continue right along here. That means we got to move to week 4. Monday night football. Well, the Dolphins beat the Jets at home. The Broncos beat those were favorites.
Yeah.
But then you had the Packers Cowboys tie.
Yeah. So that wasn't it wasn't quite, but yeah.
But then Seattle beat Arizona on Thursday night. Seattle was a small favorite on the road.
So I would say pretty much starting in week 5. So week 5, week 6, and then now. So I mean that's what do we get to? 7 of the last 8?
Yeah.
7 of the last 8 primetime games where the underdog straight up won the game is crazy.
So be careful Sunday night, San Francisco -2.5 against Atlanta. Be careful Monday night, Detroit -5.5 against Tampa, and Seattle -3.5 against Houston.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of people that I still hear when they looked at the Monday night game, and I've heard this too, just listening to podcasts or whatever, where it's like, oh, Seattle's going to roll Houston. It's like, how can we sit here watching the last few weeks of football and confidently say anyone is going to roll anyone?
Right.
We can't do it anymore, and especially in these primetime games. Like we absolutely cannot do that. So I'm stunned that people are still saying that, and like nothing's going to surprise me anymore. Nothing's going to surprise me. Like I'm not going to sit here and be shocked if Houston beats Seattle in Seattle. Why would I? Why would I? Yeah, it's just there's no
Seattle's no good at home anyway. So anyways, but yes. So yesterday's game, Joe Flacco, man, he still got it. Let me read you his numbers from yesterday's game. And I want to bring up a point that Mike Tomlin made. I need to find the quote here. But Joe Flacco, 31 of 47, 342 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. And you know what the smartest thing Joe Flacco did? He targeted Jamar Chase 23 times.
Yeah.
I've said this all along about the NFL. If you've got a dude, you've got to find a way to give him the ball. And we kind of said this was going to happen when they went and got Joe Flacco. It's like, oh, okay, this is a guy that won't be afraid of giving it to his best players. And maybe he'll throwing it to Jamar Chase. But more times than not, Jamar Chase is going to catch the ball and he's going to give you good progress. 23 targets is insane.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about Joe Flacco because I want to bring up the Mike Tomlin. I want to try to find the Mike Tomlin quote here.
Yeah, not just 23 targets, 16 of them were caught, but he didn't have a single completion to Chase that was over 20 yards. Like the longest was 18. So it was just like short, efficient, just bam, 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 move down the field. Like third down, I'm going to go to you. Third down, and that's just how he operates. And I think that yesterday, Rodney, was a good example of why there are certain backup quarterbacks that can still find a home in this league, that are always able to step in and provide value for a team. I think Flacco's an example. I think Jacoby Brissett's an example. Gardner Minshew, like any of these longtime backups, where when you think the game has passed them by, they're like, nope, I can still go out there and I can make the most of it. It's because they are like, hey, we have this elite receiver. I'm going to feed him the ball. Like, and I know. So I'll bring up Jacoby Brissett on Sunday because the game against the Colts, there was obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. got a concussion in the first half of the game, but Marvin Harrison Jr.'s props went up when Jacoby Brissett was named the starter over Kyler Murray. So they're like, Jacoby Brissett's in. That's a plus to the wide receiver one. Right. That should not be the case, but it is. And I think clearly with Joe Flacco, now you have to look at the Bengals receivers and say, yeah, they're just as big of threats as they were when Joe Burrow was there, because Joe Flacco knows, like, those are the guys. That's who I got to throw the ball to. So it's such an easy solution, because that people are going to be guarding Jamar Chase, of course, but it's like there's a reason that he's Jamar Chase. Like, he's a top 2 or 3 receiver in the league. He's going to get open. You find him the ball, whatever means necessary.
Yeah, no, yeah, like simple football minds are like, yeah, throw him the ball. And I know it's easier or it's harder said than done, but I wanted to bring up the Mike Tomlin comments real quick. So they said this on the broadcast. I missed this when it came out. It came out the 13th. So that is, what's that, Monday? Yeah, Monday.
Yeah.
They were obviously getting ready for this game. It was Mike Tomlin facing Joe Flacco, a guy that obviously he's very familiar with. But Mike Tomlin said on Monday, to be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough to make your opening day starter to a divisional opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings. And like, I am 100% agreement here with Mike Tomlin. Like, I don't care either way. Like, I don't have a stake in this. Like, I don't care if Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, or Baltimore wins this division. I truly do not care. But like, I'm thinking in Mike Tomlin's shoes, and I'm like, yeah, man, this just doesn't make any sense. Like, you're literally, so Cleveland is helping an in-state opponent who you're supposed to not like, you're supposed to be rivals with, and you're helping a Cincinnati team who has Jamar Chase, who has T. Higgins, who clearly saw Jake Browning was horrific, just absolutely horrid. And now you're sending him. I mean, Joe Flacco, he's not a Hall of Famer, though, right? Like, he's not or is he? You're sending him a borderline fringe Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't care how old he is. He's an upgrade from Jake Browning. Like, this makes zero sense to me.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you. In division trades, especially for a quarterback, it's absurd. It's absurd. And like, I don't know what was the return on Joe Flacco, because like there should be a significant premium for any team that's making a trade with a division rival, and I'm not even sure the Browns did that. It's just
the Browns traded the 40-year-old Flacco and a 2026 sixth-round pick to Cincinnati for a 2026 fifth-round pick.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah,
basically
I'm with you, man.
Moved up one round in the 2026 draft for just to get rid of Joe Flacco. They didn't want him as one of their 9 quarterbacks on their pay scale, apparently. I don't. It makes no sense to me. Tomlin went on and said it certainly makes sense from Cincinnati's perspective. He can throw the football. He's always been able to throw the football. His arm strength, arm accuracy, that's always been his game. Like, yeah, makes sense for Cincinnati. And now at 3-4, the Bengals are certainly not out of that playoff picture in the AFC North. In fact, they're second place, chasing a 3-2 Pittsburgh team. So
4-2. 4-2, yeah.
And Cincinnati's 3-4. So yes, right there in that division. I needed to bring that up because that was wild to me. Like, what are we doing here at Cleveland?
Yeah, Cincinnati is not only right behind Pittsburgh now, game and a half back, but like there's 2 teams that are seeming like 1-win teams in the AFC North. So it is only Cincinnati and Pittsburgh at this point. And like now Cincinnati has a tiebreaker too.
Yep.
They have that head-to-head win, that super valuable head-to-head win. So in the event that these teams are tied, and like the plan is for Joe Burrow to be back this season.
Yeah.
And Joe Flacco seemingly is going to give the Bengals an opportunity to just hang around and be good enough to be in the mix before Joe Burrow comes back. And and there's a totally plausible scenario here where both of those teams end up winning 9 games and Cincinnati has the tiebreaker. Well, and it's all because of the Browns trading Joe Flacco.
So Cincinnati does not play a road game until a month from yesterday, and they're at Pittsburgh. So they have the Jets coming up next Sunday. They have the Bears the following Sunday, both coming into Cincinnati. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, we're not railing on the Bears anymore. This is a different look Bears team. That Bears Bengals game will be a good one.
And anyone could beat anyone, as we know.
Well, yes. And then it's the bye week, and then it's at the Steelers again. And so you're looking at a very good possibility of the Bengals turning around and being 5-4, while the Steelers at 4-2 have the Packers coming up, the Colts at the Chargers. Like, Pittsburgh could have lost their first to four in a row last night, because I'm not sure. Packers, Colts, Chargers. Like, those aren't gimmies in any of those. So very interesting in the AFC North. I can't hear you.
To surprise you.
There you go.
That's what I was saying. I hit the mute button. My apologies.
The
problem is it's too close to where my thumb normally likes to sit when I talk into the microphone. That's the issue. So it's not my fault.
I don't know. Was last night another example of we don't know shit? I don't. Because most people are picking Pittsburgh because Cincinnati's been so bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's lost 4 in a row. They've looked atrocious. They've been a borderline bottom 5 team in the league since Joe Burrow went out. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like the Bengals offense hasn't really been super good either. And yet yesterday they put up 33 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense that's supposed to be pretty good in theory. But I would qualify as we don't know shit. Like, I don't know what the pregame line was. Well, like, I know Pittsburgh was a favorite. I'm sure it wasn't an overwhelming favorite because Pittsburgh's on the road, but
I had Pittsburgh 5th in my power rankings, and I know I cringed when I had them there last week, and I had Cincinnati at 28, 29. So I would say for me it's a I don't know shit game, and but 2 old quarterbacks really got after it last night. I thought that was kind of the takeaway and the impressive part there.
Yeah, it's the NFL. It's the NFL, and I'm sure we're going to see more. I'm sure we're going to see more of that this weekend as we go through the games and try to pinpoint some potential upsets. But you have to look and say every single possibility is on the table here. Like, I know we got a couple games that are double-digit spreads. I think the Chiefs Raiders is one of them, but so let's start there. So, like, Chiefs Raiders, Kansas City. Kansas City's a 12.5 point favorite. Are you going to be totally floored and shocked if the Raiders are able to win that game? Like, it's a 3-3 Chiefs game, and like the Raiders, to their credit, last few years seem to play the Chiefs really well.
Really well, yeah. I remember the Black Friday game. Didn't the Raiders win straight up?
Yeah. Oh yeah, in Kansas City. So they've done it before recently.
Yeah, and the Raiders are coming off a win. Now, granted, it was against Tennessee, so they're 2-4. They're pretty hungry, needing a win. And the Raiders know if they win this game, they are right there because they're only a game behind Kansas City. The Chargers have shown some flaws. The Broncos kind of hit or miss here. No, I would not be surprised. But I'm not taking 12.5 points for Kansas City. I would take the Raiders plus 12.5, saying yes, I think they can keep this close. And then on the other side, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Mahomes is like, well, screw this. Like, we're blowing you out, right? Like, we're gonna win 28-10 and cover this. But yeah, that's one of the many this week that we said this last week, like they were impossible. I will tell you, I'll just skip ahead here. The one game I do really like, well, actually, I won't do this because it's in my best bets for betting. I'll wait on that. But But the first game Sunday is the Rams-Jaguars. I don't even know what to do there. In London, Rams minus 3.5. Like, Rams don't kill anybody.
Yeah, and Puka Nacua, I don't think anything's been officially announced yet, but I don't expect him to play.
Yeah, questionable with that ankle injury. Missed practice Wednesday and Thursday.
Right.
I mean, if you're the Rams, I know you gotta keep your team together, but if you're the Rams, do you tell Puka to not even take this flight? Right? Like, why fly to London?
Because the high altitude is probably bad for the swelling.
Well, I don't even necessarily care. I just, like, if he's not gonna play Like
Yeah.
keep him home and have him at the facility 3 times a day to get treatment or whatever. Like I don't know. And I know like you need your guys to be together, part of the team. Puka probably wants to go to London. I get that, but like
Yeah.
I'm probably saying, hey, dude, we really could use you in week 8 against the we have a bye. Well, okay, they have a bye week, so yeah, make a lot of sense for Puka to not play in this game, right? Like we have a bye week. We're going to give you 2 weeks off. Now we got the Saints on November 2nd. They literally don't play for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's kind of the thought process. So I don't expect him to play, but that like no Puka Nacua would be a significant hill to climb if you're the Rams, who then have to face a Jaguars team that lost a game that they're probably pretty pissed that they lost, and turn the ball over, and they want to come out and get back on track. So yeah, I'm that's a game I'm probably staying away from. But if I had to say, I think I would take the Jaguars outright in that one.
I'll probably captain Devontae Adams if that's the case, right? Like, if you're playing a single slate or Jaguars defense and saying, okay, this Jaguars defense has turned people over before. Matthew Stafford now doesn't have his top guy. That's an interesting one. Other games Sunday, the Toilet Bowl is the Panthers Jets. Although the Panthers, we can't bash them; they're 3-3 now. But the Jets are only a 1.5 underdog at home against Carolina. This is the week, right? This is the week the Jets get it done.
Well, I think the Jets opened the week as the favorites for what it's worth. Yeah, take that for what you will. But I have a buddy who's a diehard Panthers fan, if you can believe that, and he has basically said that this year's Panthers are like, it's like a combination of the 2023 Chiefs at home and then the 2023 Panthers on the road. Like basically it's like this team is great at home, absolutely miserable on the road. So I don't think he's expecting the Panthers to win this game either. And honestly, like, yeah, this is probably the week where if I had to say the Jets win a game, it's after getting humiliated overseas.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn at this point is like, all right. Now I got to actually win a game here. I have to, like, we got to win. The Panthers have to go up and play in a different environment than the one that they're comfortable in. Yeah, I would probably say the Jets. Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't want any part of the game, but yeah, I think you got to say the Jets here.
Panthers 3 losses: at Jacksonville by 16, at Arizona by 5, and at New England by 29. So yes, not 2 of the 3 road games have not been competitive. And then of course they beat the Falcons by 30, beat the Dolphins by 3, and beat the Cowboys by 3 at home. So I probably will be betting the Jets in this one.
And that game, the one that wasn't, that looked close by the score, the one in Arizona, they were well out of the game. And because of, just ridiculous things that the Cardinals did or whatever, allowed the Panthers to get back into the game. And like, it was just a comedy of errors. But like, that was a 20-plus point deficit at one point as well.
Philadelphia's minus 2.5 at Minnesota. That's an interesting game. And that's a Carson Wentz revenge game. Philly, both these teams suddenly are like, we probably need to win here, right? Like, Minnesota falling to 3-3 in the NFC North, not great. And Philadelphia losing their 3rd straight wouldn't be great. So, thoughts here, Philly, Minnesota. If it's in your best bets for betting, you don't have to give a pick, but do you have a thought on this one?
No, I don't have it in the best bets. Like, this is sort of where I'm at and why I'm so nervous about it. The Eagles have not been playing good football the last couple weeks. It seems like the vibes are really bad. But I also am like, okay, surely the defending champs understand that and have the ability to have a get-right game. Like, I don't think anyone's looking at the Vikings and be like, oh, that's a good team.
Right.
They haven't been. They really haven't been. So I understand why the Eagles are a favorite. But once again, in the we don't know shit department, I'm going to put this game in there because, like, if the Vikings win this game by 10 plus, I would be like, yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah. Because the Eagles have just been playing that poorly. So The one benefit that the Eagles do have is the sort of coming off the mini bye, which was Minnesota on a bye as well
Minnesota
last week?
last
I think they were.
week did
Yeah.
not play. Yeah.
Yeah. So like both teams sort of have equal rest a little bit. So can't really factor that in. Yeah, I would just stay away from this game.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. There's a lot of games that I'm looking at where I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay away from you.
Yeah. Let's talk a different one here. Colts Chargers is interesting because the
Very.
Colts have been so hot, but now they got to go to LA, face a Chargers team who obviously is very banged up, but picked up kind of I wouldn't call it a miracle, but kind of got away with one in Miami last week. They really did. Like this team could be 3-3. I am going to make a pick on this one later, but Dolphins Colts I think is very interesting at 325.
That is a very interesting game. The Colts have looked really good aside from the one game that they played against the Rams in LA. That's their only loss. Now they got to go back to LA. This is another game with the Colts where I think we can officially say the Colts aren't bad. Like the Colts look good, and it's because not just of like who they play, but like they've convincingly beat these teams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you have to give respect there. Like it's a great offensive game plan. Like people that they need to play well are playing well. So we can't sit here and be like, oh, they're fluke. There's no flukes anymore.
No.
But at the Chargers is a tough game, and you know that they're going to throw some interesting defensive packages over at Daniel Jones. The Chargers also have the ability on offense to be able to score probably more so than the Cardinals and the Titans and some of the other teams that Indianapolis has faced. So I know you have it in your best bets. I won't reveal. You don't have to reveal where you're at here, but I'm probably taking the Chargers here. What is the spread? 1.5?
1.5. Yeah.
I probably am taking the Chargers. But I like if the Colts win this game on the road, then I think we have to legitimately start talking about them winning the AFC. Like as crazy as it is.
Real quick, primetime games: Atlanta minus or plus 2.5 at San Francisco. Bijan against Christian McCaffrey. That's a fun matchup, but I don't know. Like Atlanta, what they did on Monday night was like, oh, they have that in them. Oh, they smashed Buffalo. Now they got to go to San Francisco, and then Monday, Tampa, Detroit's a really good one. And you already talked about like we're not watching the 9:00 game between Houston and Seattle. While it might be a good game, it's too late.
Yeah, I'll have it on, but I'm not gonna be laying in my bed at 11:45 watching the final minutes of Texans Seahawks. Right. I can't do that. Not on a school night, people. Come on. No, there's no way. But yeah, I mean, of these three, I think clearly Bucks Lions is the one that people are most energized about. It's just Lions at home is great.
Yeah.
Bucks have been arguably one of the most exciting teams to watch this year just because of Baker Mayfield. Surely the Falcons and Michael Penix aren't going to. Surely they're not going to win at San Francisco, right?
It's still Mac Jones, right? Or is it going to be? I don't even know if it matters anymore.
I never know. Never know. Yeah, and I think you said it perfectly. I'm not sure it matters.
No, I'm not sure it does either. I'm not sure it matters, but I mean, yeah, that's where I'm at with Atlanta too. I'm thinking, okay, they just smashed Buffalo. Now they're going to go to San Francisco, win that one. Or are they going to revert back to the old Atlanta where they fumble the ball all over the place? They don't give Bijan the ball, and Michael Penix looks like a rookie. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Like it's
Atlanta's. And I can sit here and be like, oh, the 49ers defense, but I'm like, is anyone even healthy?
Yeah.
Like Fred Warner's out.
Yeah.
Bosa's out.
Yeah.
Like who even knows who's playing on that team anymore? But right. They're one of those where it's just they find a way to stay competitive.
Yeah. All right. Big college weekend as well. We'll just kind of run down some games and then we'll give some of our picks and best bets for betting. In fact, there's a game tonight, Louisville at Miami. You've been really high on Miami all season, so good opportunity for them at home tonight to kind of solidify that they are a number 2 team in the country. You get to Saturday, you got USC Notre Dame at 6:30. That's a rivalry game and one I know that you have some interest in. LSU Vanderbilt. Ole Miss, Georgia, Ohio State goes to Wisconsin, but Wisconsin's terrible. I'm going to do a hot take here. Wisconsin. So Ohio State's a 25.5-point favorite, and the total is 41.5 in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State wins this game 38-3, and Wisconsin fires Luke Fickell on Sunday. They go to 2-5. Badgers, a Badgers team that we've seen make bowl games and be pretty talented over the years, loses their 5th straight, and they fire their head coach. They follow James Franklin's firing, which was wild, by the way. James Franklin getting fired after 1 month ago, Penn State, number 2 in the country, national title contender. Like, I would probably be like, yeah, Penn State will be there. Now he's unemployed. Luke Fickell, not really as high of profile, but he will get fired on Sunday. Mark my word.
So, I mean, obviously losing to Ohio State as an almost 4-touchdown underdog isn't a fireable offense. But if they lose by 35 points and score 3 at home to drop to 2-5, a week after losing to Iowa 37-0 at home, I would say that like those compounded on top of each other, would be deserving. Like, because it's not going to get better for them. The following week they're at Oregon.
Yeah, no, it's not. And then 2 weeks later they're at Indiana, who just paid their coach $11 million a year. Kurt Signetti, $11 million a year. That's wild.
I never thought I would see a day where Indiana football is like, oh boy, Indiana football is a powerhouse. We're talking about Wisconsin getting absolutely murdered by all these teams.
By the way, I know this interests you. Yahoo Sports is reporting that Apple TV is set to take over F1 broadcasting from ESPN.
I saw that. Yes, very exciting. I think. Well, it's been on ESPN. The one downside is like if I'm traveling and I'm at a hotel or whatever on a Sunday morning, I won't be able to have the race on because it'll be on Apple TV. But we'll have that conversation another day. Rodney, can I know what I realized when we were talking about the NFL slate, we totally ignored Giants Broncos, which suddenly gets a lot more interesting.
It does. Yeah. And we have several more college games too. Tennessee, Alabama, Utah, BYU. But yes, back to Giants Broncos. It is interesting because the Giants are kind of that team that everybody's like,
have you seen what's been going on sort of in the media with Broncos players and all that? So I predict that we're going to see some type of, I'm not going to go out and say brawl, but I think that you'll see the teams get a little fiery with each other. I forget who it was exactly, but someone on the Broncos defense in a press conference was asked about Jackson Dart and more or less was like, yeah, he's got a personality, he's got his chain and his dance and like talking about him like that and not from like the football sense, which of course like fired up some Giants people for sure. And then Nick Bonito, who's the league leader in sacks, tweets out yesterday that he's never seen a more delusional fan base. Clearly talking about the Giants. Ends up deleting the tweet, but he's getting absolutely hammered by tweets. Now you have Giants players that are like tweeting these cryptic things too. So like there's all of this sort of like social media bad blood that's forming now on both sides. And I think that it's going to spill over at points on Sunday. The game got a lot more intense because of that. Because I think that the Broncos are going to try to humble Jackson Dart a little bit. And I think the Giants are going to push back if anything happens to him.
Yeah. Must watch TV 305 Giants Broncos
with Kevin Harlan on the call.
Yeah, okay.
It's a Kevin Harlan game with an exciting team, and there's the potential for fights. You don't want to miss it.
Jackson Dart versus Bo Nix. All right. Yeah. So we'll keep our eye out on that one. Now, thank you for mentioning that. I have not kept up with the off the field drama on social media.
I know the seedy underbelly that is Giants Twitter, and I can tell you that it has not gone over well, the reaction to Nick Bonito's tweet, and it might have been Greenlaw or whoever on the Broncos that was like, he's got his chain and his dancing. Like, okay, buddy.
He's apparently too hip hop for Nick Greenlaw. Apparently,
Too hip hop. Yeah,
yeah.
too hip hop. That's what when I look at Jackson Dart, that's what I think. Too
Yeah, those
hip-hop.
New York athletes, dang them. All right, I'm gonna move to baseball real quick. Not gonna spend a lot of time on baseball, which is probably criminal with it being an ALCS, NLCS. But I'm gonna make a pre-call real quick.
Yeah,
Brewers.
yeah. See Brewers. What? So how many runs have they scored in the series?
Not
3?
good. Not good. They scored 1 in game 3. They scored 1 in game 2. They scored 1 in game 1.
Yeah. That's not going to win games. This Dodgers strategy of, hey, let's have our starting pitchers like not pitch a whole lot during the regular season because they're hurt, and that way they go into the postseason with fresh arms. And
but not every club can do that.
Right. No, exactly. Like they can't well, if you ask Dodger fans, they can, but realistically, you're right, Rodney. Not every team can pay millions and millions and millions of dollars to Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow and Ohtani and Yamamoto and say, you know what? It doesn't matter how many innings you give us in the regular season. We're still going to win 90 plus games. We're going to make the playoffs, and then you'll be fresh for October. No, if any other team committed $700 million to like 3 starting pitchers and they none of them gave you more than like 110 innings,
right?
You would be watching the playoffs from home.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to envision. I mean, the Cardinals don't have anybody like that, but I'm trying to envision like 4 starters out for the Cardinals, what that rotation would look like, and what that rotation would look like was like a 6.5 ERA. That's pretty much what it would look like. Yeah.
And it's like the Dodgers, like it doesn't matter because they have so much everywhere else, and it's pretty obvious to me that they're gonna sweep Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think Milwaukee's done. And I know it's baseball, like stuff happens, but like I'd be hard pressed to think that either Toronto or Seattle beats the Dodgers.
I would too. Dodgers just have too much going on here. They're obviously playing some of their best baseball now, and I would too. I'm going Dodgers no matter who wins that AL. And then let's talk about the AL. The road team has won all 4 games, and now Toronto is on the road tonight for Game 5. I mean, this is an obvious statement of a very, very, very pivotal game tonight. You know, moves the needle one way or the other as far as you're 1 win away from the World Series, you're 1 win away from elimination. Max Scherzer brought back so we had Max Scherzer, Joe Flacco, and Aaron Rodgers all dominating the sports landscape last night. How about that? Yeah,
that's what we expected, right?
Yeah, no, it is. But Max Scherzer pitched well.
As a fellow old, do you feel good about yesterday? Do you feel empowered?
I feel like I could have got out there and got the job done. But 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, and a heated exchange with his manager saying, "I am not coming out of this game. I am not coming out of this game."
He's a dog. No, he's a dog. That series has been wild, man, because Seattle absolutely smoked them in Toronto.
Yep.
And then Toronto's returned the favor on the road. Like you've had 4 blowouts, right? Like 4 games that were not at all close, and the road team won. Like it's a weird series because the home crowds are totally neutered in every single game. And what's your lean there for I guess Game 5 and also the rest of the series here? Because Game 5 is Kevin Gausman against Bryce Miller. The Mariners are so it is in Seattle still. The Mariners are a small favorite, but I mean Toronto. If this continues here, Toronto's got all the momentum. Toronto could be going back home with a 3-2 lead and a chance to win it in their own park.
Yeah, I'm going to give Seattle the benefit of the doubt that they're going to win one of these games at home. Now, this is the last opportunity for them. I took Seattle to start the series. I'm going to take them again. It's baseball. I mean, much like we talked about in football, like we don't know what's actually going to happen here. I do like Bryce Miller. He's been pretty good in the postseason, 2.61 ERA. Gausman, we talk about old guys. I feel like that guy is fairly old, although I think he's only 34. But I think it will be a good matchup. I'm going to I'm going to rely on Seattle's offense to kind of break open tonight and win this one. So I'll take Seattle tonight, and then Seattle in I'll take them in 7. I took them to win the division. I took them to win it. I'll take them in 7 to go to Toronto and win Game 7.
Yeah, like surely there has to be a home team winning a game here, right?
I mean, you would think, but we'll see. All right. Anything else on baseball, or let's get to our best bets for betting?
No, I'm all good here. I'm all good. Have the Cardinals hired Yadi Molina yet as a coach?
They have not. They have not. And by the way, Sunday night, 8:00, I'm joining a large scale roundtable to discuss the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh,
Yeah.
Am I able to stream this?
Yeah,
Able
it
to
should
watch
be.
anywhere?
Should be. I'll throw a link up there, 8:00 Sunday night. Now, the problem is I'm supposed to be in an NBA draft on Sunday night as well. I may have to hire you to jump in on that.
So I like that you guys decided, hey, you know what? There's Sunday night football going on.
I didn't decide.
I think everyone wants to talk about the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. So we're gonna do it right now.
This is nothing. This is not on my schedule, but they did ask me to join, and I can make it. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'll draft your fantasy basketball team for you. Is this a paid league? Am I going to get some type of compensation for this?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Let me iron out details, and we'll see what we can do there. But if I have a fantasy basketball draft, I turn to you. You are my assistant co-GM. Morton Mafia has lasted 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Yeah. Joel Embiid first round.
Yes,
he's gonna give you 15 incredible games this year.
And Ochai Abaji in 8th round or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a good idea. Usually you're heading to Hawaii. Are you heading to Hawaii soon?
No, I don't have any trips coming up. I've said, Amber, there is no way I am going to be taking a vacation right in the heart of fantasy basketball draft season. Not again.
Well, you've done it before.
Can't do it.
No,
can't do it. I've done it before. I've done it a couple times.
Yes.
And I never want to do it again. It's too stressful. I need to be fully locked in this year, and there's too much happening. Tuesday, by the way, in case you're wondering, anyone listening, Tuesday night, I think we'll probably talk some NBA.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yeah, good idea. All right, best bets for betting. Starting best bets for betting. I am 17-18 on the season. That's not very good. And 2 behind you, 19-16. That's enough to be about even if you're actually betting your normal units. All right. My first one, I'm going to go tonight. I'm going to go the Canes, the U. It's all about the U. Louisville's not bad. In fact, they're 4-1 on the season. Louisville coming off an overtime loss 2 weeks ago to Virginia. They are off a bye. Louisville is a little bit scary there. But I will take the U minus 13.5. If the Hurricanes want to show that they are a legit contender, I think they should and can blow out Louisville out at home. 13.5, a lot of points. I'll take the Canes, though.
You're smart man. Betting on Miami.
I knew you'd like it. You love your Florida schools.
I did not take any Florida schools this weekend, but yes, normally I'm all about Miami, all about betting the Gators for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miami in particular. All right. A couple college games for me. The first one, we got Tennessee facing Alabama. The game's in Tuscaloosa. Alabama, I keep thinking that Alabama is going to be able to sort of flip a switch and just blow teams out, and that really hasn't happened yet. Tennessee's a good team. Even though they're on the road, I think this is going to be a closer game than the 8.5 point spread indicates. So I'm taking the Vols here on a number that seems pretty big to me.
Yeah, it seems like a lot. I like that pick. All right, I'm going to stick with tonight. I got 2 of them tonight, so a big night for me tonight, and I am going to do the anti-Bill Belichick bet here. That's a long way for his Tar Heels to go on a Friday night. That's a long way for him to be. That's a late game for him to be coaching. He is awfully old. It's 9:30 start in California, which is 10:30 back home. Well, it's a 7:30 start in California. A 10:30 start in North Carolina. The Tar Heels are 2-3, lost 2 in a row. They just got blown out by Clemson 2 weeks ago by 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, whatever it was. California 4-2. They got blown out by Duke, but a Duke's better than North Carolina. I like California at home in this one. I think the Bears will bounce back and win this one by 10 or more. I will take California minus 9.5.
I think betting against North Carolina is also a good play, just in general.
Probably a good choice. Yeah.
In life. Yeah, I think that's a smart idea. All right. I am looking at Notre Dame and USC. The game is in South Bend. Um, I I never like Lincoln Riley's USC team on the road. Generally don't play very well.
In the
Notre
Midwest.
Dame, no, yeah, in the Midwest, Notre Dame has seemed to they've seemed to figure things out a little bit, and now you're looking at a Notre Dame team that, despite losing those 2 games really early on, is having that surge that they're going
Yeah.
to need to have any shot at the postseason. So I'm taking the Irish here to win by double digits against the Trojans in this annual rivalry game.
Yeah, Notre Dame is going to the college football playoff, and I know you called this weeks ago. Even after an 0-2 start, they still got a great chance. Boston College, Navy, Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Stanford after this.
Right. So they beat USC, and then that's what's left, and they'll end up with 2 losses. They'll end up with 2 losses, and then they'll still be a top 10 team, and then that'll be that. Yeah.
They're 13th right now. Like they win this one in the next 5, they will jump into the top 12. They will be in, and yeah, you're right. I'll take. Yeah, I like Notre Dame here. All right, SEC. LSU and Vanderbilt, 10-17, according to the Associated Press polls. I'm not sold on Vanderbilt necessarily. They did get smoked at Alabama by 16 2 weeks ago. I like their quarterback a little bit, but he can be a little reckless, Diego Pavia. And I think LSU is the better team. I'm going to take LSU plus 2.5 on the road. The Tigers, Brian Kelly. I'm going to take them on the road. So it's plus 2.5. Also going to sprinkle some money line on this one. I'll take the Tigers over the Commodores.
Incredibly jarring to see Vanderbilt.
Yes.
As a favorite.
Yes.
Over LSU.
Yes, indeed.
Really in any sport. Yeah. Not just football. Pretty much in anything in life.
Yeah. Maybe not baseball. Education. Maybe not college baseball.
I mean, LSU has some pretty good baseball teams, man. I seem to recall Paul Skeens being the ace for one of those staffs here a couple of years ago.
Vanderbilt does too. Dansby Swanson.
No, I know Vanderbilt. David Price. I know that Vanderbilt has a really good baseball team, but I'm like LSU's had. All right, off the top of my head. So Paul Skeens, Alex Bregman was LSU, right? Yeah. There's been more. Hockey guy Dan, if you're listening, give me a list of best baseball players from LSU, best baseball players from Vanderbilt. Let's put it head to head. Go.
Don't forget about the talented Kramer Robertson from LSU, who is Kim Mulkey's son.
Oh, look at that.
Cardinals organization didn't make it. I'm mostly teasing on that one. All right, go ahead. Move on.
The Milkman. All right. My next best bet. We're moving on to the National Football League. The Patriots are in Nashville to take on the Titans. This is the Mike Vrabel revenge game. The Patriots are a 6.5 point favorite. I'm looking at this and saying, okay, the Patriots, they're legitimate. They're a pretty good team. The Titans have a lot of work to do, and their one win this year was due to Arizona having probably what was the worst loss of any team in the NFL this season, just based on their collapse and how they lost that game. So 6.5 is still not enough respect for a New England team that legitimately looks playoff good against a Titans team that's going to be picking in the top 3 once again. So I'm going with the Patriots to win by a touchdown plus here at the Titans. I think this line should probably be closer to 8, maybe even 8.5, but 6.5, I'm loving it. I'm jumping on it. It's absolutely the Patriots for me here.
Yeah, so my next one's not listed on here because I screwed it up, and I'm going to skip to my last one here real quick.
All right, yeah.
I'll come back to my fourth one,
and then come back to it.
My last one is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers minus 1.5 over the Indianapolis Colts. I talked about this one earlier. Yes, the Colts are good. Yes, I'm not going to argue with you on that one. But going back to LA, Chargers got a little momentum after last week's win. Chargers still good enough despite being banged up. I just like LA at home here, and I'm going to take the. I know what my other one was. Yeah, all right. I'm going to take the Chargers at home here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right. My second to last one is Bears.
Yeah.
Against the Saints. The Bears, I think, impressed a lot of people, beating the Washington Commanders last weekend, or on Monday night, I should say. They return home as a 4.5-point favorite against the Saints. I'm going to give the Bears the benefit of the doubt here and saying, hey, you've won 3 in a row. You're facing a team that is still one of the worst in football.
Yeah.
If you're back, this is a statement. Make a statement game here and go with it. So I'm taking the Bears minus 4.5 at home to win 4 games in a row. This is probably the first time since 2017 that they won 4 games in a row. So if they're able to do it, so yeah, I like the Bears here.
Yeah, and I don't know why mine didn't save, because that was my fourth one that I had in there, and actually probably one of my favorite NFL games of the weekend. But then I started thinking, oh yeah, it's the Bears, and
also we don't know shit.
Yeah, no, they could probably let us down. But I do. Everything you said there, Bears at home, Bears playing well, won 3 in a row. You're right. It's not a very good New Orleans team. I know they flirted with some wins. They picked up a win. But I think the Bears, and I'm going to trust that Wonder Boy kind of gets them over the mental, we're the Bears and we might lose this game and show up. Even if they win by 7, we got it. Win the game by a score or more, and I think we got this one. I'll take Chicago minus 4.5 as well.
Yeah, if the game was in New Orleans, I think that you get those doubts. But the fact that it's in Chicago, it's hard to take the Saints here at that number. So yeah, Bears minus 4.5. We're both in agreement there. All right, my final best bet for betting: the Commanders against the Cowboys. Washington's a 1.5 points favorite in Dallas. I think we could say now, so we're 6 weeks into the year. Dallas Cowboys aren't very good. They're
not.
The defense is bad. They just lost to the Panthers. They've given up 30 plus to the Bears. They gave up 30 plus to Russell Wilson's Giants. They 40 to the Packers. So Washington's going to be able to put up points on them. I think Washington's pissed off about how Monday night slipped through their fingertips there. And 1.5, you have to acknowledge that, yeah, this is a divisional game, so wild things can happen. But I just think that the Commanders are going to be too much for Dallas to be able to hang with here, and I'm going to take the Commanders minus 1.5.
Okay, that's our best bets for betting. Once again, I am 17-18. You are 19-16. Good luck to both of us this weekend. All right, let's get to our Mount Rushmores of number 2. And I've already got Major League Baseball pulled up, so I'm going to let you take care of either the NBA, NFL, or NHL. I've got one that we definitely are going to have on in MLB, and one that I am going to mention as a strong honorable mention because I can use my fan card. Now, I don't have to have this guy in because he was well before my time. But number 1 is Derek Jeter's in. He's in.
Yeah,
he's in. He wore it for 20 seasons. He's in. Number 2, he's definitely in. The fan card in me says Red Shaned it. There he is, right there. Yeah,
I have my little Derek Jeter figurine from my youth here.
He's wearing number 2. Very nice.
Wearing number 2. There you go.
Yeah. And my fan card says Red Shandish, 14 seasons as the St. Louis Cardinals back in the 40s. Now, a very good player, 44-8 WAR according to Baseball Reference. So it's not like he didn't get it done. But Red Shandish, I'll put an honorable mention in case we don't find out. I think we're going to find plenty of NFL, NBA, NHL that keeps him off this list. But I did want to mention him. A couple other names: Nellie Fox, Xander Bogaerts, Troy Tulowitzki, all WAR number 2 for in their career. Alex Bregman.
I loved Troy Tulowitzki. I have a Troy Tulowitzki purple Rockies jersey still. So he was one of my favorites when he was playing. He was awesome.
All right, so Derek Jeter is in.
Welcome, Derek. Welcome, the captain. All right, yes, Jeter's in. That's a lock. So NFL, there's been a lot of pretty solid players, but there's been one player that has overwhelmingly been the best player ever to wear number 2 in the NFL, just based on just accolades, value, stats, all of it. How about former MVP, almost Super Bowl champion, Matt Ryan?
Okay, yeah.
Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, has been, by the numbers, the most probably 3 times as high on the value sheet as the next best, which is Aaron Brooks. So I think Matt Ryan has to be on the Rushmore. Some of the other NFL guys, those guys you would certainly know, like Patrick Surtain II on Denver, one of the best corners in the NFL. He's number 2. Couple kickers, Mason Crosby, David Akers. David Akers, man, he had a hell of a leg. DJ Moore is wearing number 2 for the Chicago Bears. But then you got, Tim Couch. We're not going to put Tim Couch on the Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore busts, maybe.
Yeah.
And there's been a few others, but I would say Matt Ryan, MVP, long, really good career with the Falcons. He was with the Colts for what, 1 year? Yeah, 1 year. Yeah, 1 year. Everything else with Atlanta. So I would say Matt Ryan is on the Mount Rushmore as well of number 2s. NBA. Ryan, oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Matt Ryan, Derek Jeter. Yeah. I think we both have some NBA here. You can go ahead. You're gonna. There's some real good names here.
All right. Well, I think this is easy. We got 2 spots left, and naturally we have to put Lonzo and LaMelo Ball on the Mount Rushmore of number 2. If it was my part, if we were doing a totally biased Mount Rushmore, I would allow you to put Red Shondist on there, and then I would get both balls, even though Melo changed his number to 1 after a couple years. But Lonzo definitely has to be there. But no, NBA like number 2, I think of Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
Number 2, I think of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, pretty good. I hear. Kyrie Irving with the Cavs was number 2. Here's one. He was not on the Mount Rushmore because honestly, I wouldn't have remembered his number exactly. But ISO Joe Johnson was number 2 with the Suns, with the Hawks. That's another really, really good player. But if we're going back a little bit older here, how about Moses Malone? Yeah, I don't think he wore it his entire career though.
I don't think so. Yeah, with the Sixers he did. So I think later stages of his career he did. But yeah, starting in '83 and he wore it through '95. Yeah,
because even Gary Payton wore it a couple years. Now, not his entire career, but he had it on for a couple years. Kawhi. Did we mention Kawhi Leonard?
We did. That's the first name that I mentioned, Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, and you got Mitch Richmond. You have. Yeah, so I mean, like there are a lot of really, really good players. I would probably say Kawhi or SGA.
I'm going. I was gonna say SGA, but it's hard to ignore Kawhi's career too, and he's won a championship as well. I mean, you could do both, but then you're gonna leave out a 3-time Stanley Cup winner and Duncan Keith.
I've looked at NHL. I looked at it a little bit earlier this week, and yeah, there's a lot of really, really good NHL nominees as well. Duncan Keith just being one of them.
Doug Harvey won 5 Stanley Cups.
I'm willing to say let's just do one from each sport here, so then we do one NBA. So I would say you got to pick Kawhi or SGA.
It's Kawhi.
All right.
And then NHL, I mentioned Duncan Keith, 3-time Stanley Cup winner. Doug Harvey, 5-time Stanley Cup champion. I'll be honest, I don't know much about Doug Harvey. He did play for the Blues, apparently. I don't know much about him. Do you know much about Doug Harvey?
Not a ton, but I do know about Brian Leach, Hall of Fame defenseman with the New York Rangers, was also number 2. That's a really, really strong candidate. How about this one? You'll definitely know this guy, longtime St. Louis Blue, Al McInnes.
Yes, yeah.
Al McInnes is probably the St. Louis Blue that should come to mind there for number 2. But 1984 to 2004, that's 20 years wearing the number 2. Split with Calgary and St. Louis Hall of Famer. So that's another really, really good option as well.
One of the first guys that in the game of hockey where I was like, holy shit, his slap shot is amazing. Like just an absolute rocket. Now, obviously that game has developed. A lot of guys have that slap shot, but like as a kid growing up, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting out of that guy's way. But yeah, Al McInnes, good name there.
Yeah. So where do you want to go for hockey here? We got a few different directions.
I mean, this Doug Harvey's resume is really impressive. 5-time Stanley Cup champion, 7-time All-Star. Like,
but also, if you didn't know a lot about him,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean,
I would personally say I would want, just my 2 cents is Leach or McInnes. Personally, I don't
yeah.
want Duncan Keith on there. I don't want to infect the Mount Rushmore with
Well,
Blackhawks.
I'm good with Al McInnes, 20-year career, right? Like, that's impressive. Al McInnes, 20-year career, wearing the same number, wearing number 2. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Derek Jeter, Al McInnes, Matt Ryan, Kawhi Leonard. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good Mount Rushmore. Yeah, very, very pleased with that. So there you go. That's our Mount Rushmore of number 2s. It is scientifically proven. It is indisputable. And there you go. That's a good way to head into the weekend. So a couple reminders before we get on out of here that you can follow us at Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. And chances are, if you were watching us today, that's how you found us. Make sure to listen to our show wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, iHeart. All 102 episodes will be available on your podcast feed. And Rodney's still putting out his free picks every day on the Substack. So make sure to sign up for Stupid Sports Show on Substack to get free picks sent to your inbox every single morning. He is cranking out winners left and right. Just winners. Too many winners. You'll get tired of winning. So, make sure to sign up right now before he gets tired of it.
Yeah, and then just stop because I just win too much. You're right.
Yeah,
it's hard to win so much. You're right.
Yeah. So, all right. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, let's get out of here. We'll come back Tuesday. Yes, we're talking NBA on Tuesday. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I might be drafting for you this weekend.
That's right. Let me know. That's right. I'll lock down on some details on that one.
All right, perfect. All right, for Rodney Newpol, I am Tim Easton Assassin Van Stratton, signing off for another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.